Okay, coronavirus here in the Philippines. What is the perspective? Well, I've been talking to some friends of mine back in Texas, and there's some concern, about being here right next to China, so to speak, little distance, but in Southeast Asia. And what's the perspective here on coronavirus? So I thought I'd give a rundown here, and today is February 9th, almost February 10th. February 10th is a big day for my family. It's the 5-year anniversary of when my wife first arrived in Texas, and spent 4 years plus in Texas, and then moved here in the Philippines. But the thing is, the coronavirus is the big news item now, and a lot of people are concerned about it. Just January 12th, just 4 weeks ago, we had the eruption in Taal, and everybody was concerned about us because of the eruption. That volcano was only 30 kilometers away, and now everybody's concerned about the coronavirus. But yeah, we are too, of course. But there's still only very few cases here in the Philippines. It's much more worrisome in Japan, where there's some 80 cases. 64 cases are on the Diamond Princess cruise ship, a cruise ship I was on, but 15 years ago. But I was on that same cruise ship. But here in the Philippines, it's interesting, the perspective. Okay, one that I've learned. I'll put a link to a really good channel that I've been following for statistics and scientific data about the coronavirus. Okay, what I've learned about it. There's something called an RO factor in a disease, and that is the average spread. So a patient X will spread the virus to so many other people during the course of their illness. And for diseases like measles, I learned that the RO factor is pretty high, like 15. So you've got patient X will infect 15 people, and then each one of those people will infect an average of 15 people. So right away, in 2 jumps, you've got 225 people, okay? For something like the coronavirus, it looks like it's between 2.5 to 3.5, so somewhere around 3. That's the information that I'm getting. So you've got a jump of from person X to another person to another person. You've got 9 people. Okay, so it looks like this isn't some kind of biological weapon that's been released on the world. Okay, this looks like a fairly natural disease with a natural spread. Now, the thing that calms me is I've got family, okay, Filipino family, that's a customs agent who's the godmother for our new baby. She works in customs at the airport, the international airport. I've also know a security guy at the airport, the international airport, and my wife's brother is a baggage handler at the international airport. So all 3 of these people likely came into contact, direct contact, with an infected coronavirus person. Okay, each of these coronavirus people that came into the Philippines came through this international airport, or at least some of them did. Okay, so the baggage handler likely handled the baggage of someone that was positive. The customs agent could have interacted directly with somebody that was positive. Okay, but more importantly, okay, is that the customs agent knows the other customs agents. The security guy knows the other security people. The baggage handler knows the other baggage handlers. So somebody definitely handled these people's baggage. Somebody definitely spoke to them in a direct, very close proximity with infected people. And they know nobody that's been infected with coronavirus. There's nobody at the airport that's come up positive. So that is a comfort, because even if you walk past somebody in the mall that is infected, you're not likely to get infected. Okay, and that's my feeling after talking with these people who work at the international airport. Okay, so you really have to have some kind of prolonged direct contact with these people. And that's another thing I wanted to point out about the cruise line. Okay, now I like cruises. I've been on several Carnival cruises, and I've been on that Princess cruise, that specific ship. The Diamond Princess was my Princess cruise. It used to be an Alaska cruise ship. Okay, that's when I took that. Diamond Princess was in Alaska. I learned the ballroom dance on that ship. But there's a lot of examples of like food poisoning. There are specific types of diseases that have spread on cruise ships that have involved hundreds of people. Now, this coronavirus is locked in the ship, okay? And these people, 3,700 people, something like that, are trapped on this ship with this virus. And it's not, 1,000 people that are infected. It's not 700 people that are infected. It's 64 people, okay? So, again, that shows that it's not a virulent contagion that's going to sweep the world, and just wipe out everybody. 64 people out of 3,000. That's a pretty small percentage. And everybody is really in direct contact with everybody else. It's really difficult to isolate yourself on a cruise ship, especially with all the free food buffets everywhere. So you're constantly interacting with everybody. So even that cruise ship example in Japan that I've been following, it's in Yokohama, Japan, the Diamond Princess, 64 positive cases. Even that's encouraging. Okay, so the people on the ground here, the people in the street, really aren't greatly concerned about the coronavirus. A lot of the concern is still about Taal volcano, where they're still having earthquakes. A lot of the concern is about the volcanic ash that's here on the streets still, even though we've had a couple of good rainfalls. And the flu, it's flu season. I think somebody sent me a message about, there's 6,200 deaths from the flu, and nobody's really worried about the flu. Coronavirus has killed a couple of hundred people. So it's good to keep things in perspective, okay? And really, so far, the risk here seems to be minimal. People have a good, positive attitude, and there's plenty of reason to be hopeful. Okay, I'll try and put a link here for a good video. Medical doctors put out on information about the coronavirus, so you can feel at least educated. Me personally, I get really anxious and I get a little stressed when I don't have any information. So if somebody like Mag Tempo drives me crazy, if somebody's angry or upset and they're not talking, that just drives me crazy. My imagination goes wild, What happened, I just don't know. But the more information I get on anything, the more I relax about it, and the more I begin to understand. There are specific traits that the people who are dying from this disease have. There's ways you can minimize that. And that's all in these videos. Okay, I'll supply a link here in the description. All right, well, take care, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. And at least here, February 10th, 2020, word on the street is pretty positive here about the coronavirus. Take care.